What's up, football fans? Welcome back to Quick, your go-to channel for everything related to football. Today, we're diving deep into a tournament that redefined global club football as we know it. That's right, we're talking about the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. This wasn't just another competition. It was a monumental shift in the beautiful game, packed with drama, passion, and unforgettable moments. Let's break it all down right here on Quick.
Freed from desire, mind and senses purified. Freed from desire, mind and senses purified. Freed from desire. Na 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 na.
For years, the Club World Cup was a modest affair, a 7-team showdown. But 2025? That changed everything. FIFA unleashed an unprecedented 32-club spectacle, drawing teams from all 6 confederations. FIFA President Gianni Infantino himself declared it the genesis of the golden era of club football. Imagine, 8 groups of 4, with the top 2 advancing to a knockout stage, from the round of 16 all the way to the grand final. Europe, as expected, dominated the slots with a whopping 12 teams, double that of South America's 6. This footballing marathon stretched for nearly a month, kicking off on June 14th and culminating in a thrilling final on July 13th. The chosen battleground for the final? MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, a symbolic choice, as this very arena is set to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, making this Club World Cup a crucial test event. Now, let's talk numbers. FIFA poured a colossal $1 billion into this revamped event. Over half of that, a staggering $525 million, was earmarked just for participation fees, with the rest for performance bonuses. This wasn't just about football. It was a massive commercial play. The choice of the U.S. as host and the visible presence of figures like U.S. President Donald Trump underscored a clear strategy to maximize global reach and revenue. But this expansion came at a cost. Chelsea's players, for instance, endured a season stretching over 52 weeks, with the Club World Cup final being their 64th match, the joint second most a Premier League club has ever played. The fatigue was real, with players yearning for a holiday, and the club even decided against a victory parade. The Premier League voiced concerns to FIFA about the calendar being expanded, and even Chelsea captain Reece James expressed reservations about being labeled undisputed champions of the world. This highlights a growing tension: FIFA's grand vision versus the very real toll on player well-being. Let's trace the paths of our 2 finalists, Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain. Chelsea's journey was a narrative of resilience, full of unexpected twists. They started in Group D alongside Flamengo, Esperance de Tunis, and LAFC. A solid 2-0 win over LAFC kicked things off, but then came the shocker, a 3-1 defeat to Brazilian giants Flamengo. Despite Pedro Neto's early strike, Flamengo took control in the second half, with goals from Bruno Henrique, Danilo, and Wallacian, a match that also saw Nicholas Jackson red-carded. Yet, Chelsea bounced back, securing their knockout spot with a commanding 3-0 win over Esperance de Tunis. In the quarterfinals, they faced another Brazilian powerhouse, Palmeiras. It was a hard-fought 2-1 victory. Cole Palmer opened the scoring, but Palmeiras equalized through Estevao, a young talent set to join Chelsea. The decisive goal was a fortunate own goal, deflected from Malo Gusto's cross. This match also marked André Santos' first competitive start and an impactful debut for new signing João Pedro off the bench. Notably, Chelsea had scored in all 5 of their Club World Cup matches up to this point and hadn't conceded a single goal in the first half of any game. The semi-final brought a tough challenge against Fluminense. Chelsea emerged with a decisive 2-0 win, thanks to a brilliant brace from João Pedro on his full debut. Pedro, a product of Fluminense's youth system, respectfully chose not to celebrate his wonder goals. Key defensive moments included Marc Cucurella's crucial goal line clearance and a VAR review overturning a handball decision against Trevoh Chalobah. A late ankle injury scare from Moises Caicedo raised concern for the final. Chelsea's journey, with that surprising loss to Flamengo and challenging knockout games, wasn't easy. They had conceded in every stage before the final. That initial 3-1 setback against Flamengo was a wake-up call, forcing Enzo Maresca's side to make decisive tactical changes during the tournament. Paris Saint-Germain, on the other hand, arrived in the U.S. on the back of a near-perfect campaign. They had already clinched the Ligue 1 title, the Coupe de France, and their first-ever UEFA Champions League title with a commanding 5-0 victory over Inter Milan. They were widely considered heavy favorites, with some even calling them unbeatable before the final. In the group stage, PSG showcased their attacking might with dominant 4-0 wins over Atletico Madrid and Messi's Inter Miami. However, Their seemingly flawless record was marred by a surprising 1-0 loss to Botafogo in the group stage, a result that largely went unnoticed amidst their overall dominance. Their knockout run continued to impress. In the quarterfinals, PSG overcame German giants Bayern Munich 2-0 in a fiercely contested match. This one was hard-earned, as PSG finished with only 9 players due to red cards for Willian Pacho and Lucas Hernandez. The match also saw a serious injury to Bayern's Jamal Musiala. Despite Bayern having 2 goals disallowed and Manuel Neuer making brilliant saves, goals from Desire Doué and Ousmane Dembélé secured the win, highlighting PSG's resilience. The semi-final was a commanding 4-0 victory over Real Madrid at MetLife Stadium. Fabian Ruiz scored twice within the first 24 minutes, capitalizing on Real Madrid's defensive errors by Raul Asensio and Antonio Rudiger. Ousmane Dembélé and substitute Gonçalo Ramos completed the rout, with Ramos delivering a heartfelt tribute by performing the iconic Jota celebration in memory of Jota, who had tragically passed away in a recent accident. Real Madrid's star forward Kylian Mbappé struggled against his former club. This victory extended PSG's impressive goal-scoring record to 16 goals en route to the final, and they had won their last 6 matches without conceding. PSG's pre-final narrative was one of overwhelming dominance, with labels like heavy favorites and unbeatable. They boasted a 16-1 goal difference and a 436-minute clean sheet streak. Yet, the 1-0 loss to Botafogo and the tough quarterfinal against Bayern, where they finished with 9 men, revealed hidden weaknesses. And so, it all came down to this: Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain in the grand finale. The final, held at the colossal MetLife Stadium, drew a tournament-high crowd of 81,188. The iconic Manhattan skyline provided a dramatic backdrop. Pre-match predictions heavily favored PSG, who were coming off a near-perfect season and commanding wins, labeled unbeatable by many. Chelsea, in stark contrast, were significant underdogs. Chelsea delivered a performance that defied all expectations, stunning PSG with a blistering start that saw them race to a commanding 3-0 lead well within the first half. The star of the show? Cole Palmer. He had reportedly been freezing cold from January through June, but delivered a masterclass with 2 goals and an assist. The first goal came in the 22nd minute. PSG goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma launched a long kick, but Nuno Mendes failed to control it cleanly. Malo Gusto's initial shot was blocked, but Cole Palmer was quick to react, slotting home the rebound. That strike not only gave Chelsea the lead, but also ended PSG's impressive 436-minute run without conceding a goal. The second goal followed in the 30th minute, and once again it was Palmer. He timed his run perfectly to latch onto Levi Colwill's long ball, cut inside onto his left foot, and fired in a near-identical finish from inside the box. Both goals exploited PSG's dangerously high defensive line. Chelsea's summer signing, João Pedro, made it 3-0 just before halftime in the 43rd minute. This time, Palmer turned provider, threading a sublime through ball into Pedro's path. The Brazilian forward remained composed and casually dinked the ball over Donnarumma, sealing a brilliant first-half performance. Pedro had now scored in both the semi-final and the final. Chelsea's manager Enzo Maresca's tactics worked flawlessly. He pushed Palmer wider and bolstered midfield control by bringing back Captain Reece James alongside Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, allowing Malo Gusto to push forward. Palmer himself credited the coach. The gaffer put a great game plan out, and obviously, he knew where the space was going to be. Chelsea also benefited from an extra day of rest, contributing to their superior energy. Despite nearly 66% possession, PSG never truly recovered from the opening blitz. Their attacks, led by Dembélé and Kvaratskhelia, were repeatedly forced wide or backwards by Chelsea's disciplined defense, which at times saw Pedro Neto drop into a back 5. PSG struggled to maintain their impressive defensive record. Midway through the second half, PSG regained some control, but the damage was done. Chelsea sat deeper, absorbed pressure, and closed out the game with remarkable efficiency. PSG coach Luis Enrique candidly admitted Chelsea's superiority. They had a lot of energy. I believe they were actually better than we were. The mounting frustration for PSG led to contentious moments. João Neves received a red card in the 84th minute for pulling Marc Cucurella's hair. The game ended with an unsportsmanlike confrontation involving Luis Enrique and Donnarumma, pushing João Pedro. 6 yellow cards and 1 red card reflected the heated nature of the contest. PSG's high possession throughout the match, combined with their inability to score, reflected a psychological breakdown following the early 3-goal deficit. Their reputation as an unbeatable side made the sudden collapse even more alarming, leading to visible frustration and disciplinary lapses on the pitch. Rather than demonstrating control, Their dominance in possession appeared more like a desperate attempt to regain composure. It highlighted how early momentum can completely unbalance even the most favored teams. The expanded Club World Cup provided the perfect stage for individual brilliance. Here are the stars who shone the brightest. Cole Palmer from Chelsea was undoubtedly the standout performer of the tournament, earning the Golden Ball for Player of the Tournament. His performance in the final was nothing short of masterclass, scoring 2 crucial goals and providing a decisive assist. With a total of 3 goals and 2 assists, Palmer played a pivotal role in Chelsea's triumph. Remarkably, he became only the 3rd Chelsea player this century to score multiple goals in a major final. Robert Sanchez from Chelsea claimed the Golden Glove as best goalkeeper, thanks to his outstanding performances throughout the tournament. He kept 3 clean sheets, including a flawless display in the final, which was instrumental in Chelsea's defensive dominance. His calm presence and reflex saves made a huge difference in Chelsea's title run. Gonzalo Garcia from Real Madrid took home the Golden Boot as the top scorer of the tournament. The 21-year-old forward netted 4 goals and provided 1 assist across 6 matches. He edged out other contenders who also scored 4, but had no assists, showcasing both his goal-scoring instinct and ability to contribute to the build-up. Desire Doué from PSG was honored with the Young Player of the Tournament award. The PSG midfielder impressed fans and pundits alike with his flair, creativity, and maturity beyond his years. Despite PSG's disappointment in the final, Doué's performances stood out and hinted at a bright future ahead. The trophy presentation was a grand affair at MetLife Stadium, designed to represent the pinnacle of global club football, featuring dazzling fireworks, flames, golden sparks, and blue smoke. U.S. President Donald Trump was a prominent figure on stage alongside FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Trump presented medals and handed the trophy to Chelsea captain Reece James. A moment that quickly went viral online involved Cole Palmer's visibly confused look as Trump shared the stage. Palmer later clarified, "No, I knew he was going to be there, but I didn't know he was going to be on the stand where we lift the trophy. So I was a bit confused." Despite the grand on-field ceremony, Chelsea notably ruled out a parade back in London. This decision was reportedly unpopular with the squad, who were keen for a holiday after an exceptionally grueling season of 64 matches. Captain Reece James himself expressed reservations about the undisputed champions of the world title, stating, "I think that's a big statement. Whether one game decides that, that's probably up to you to decide." The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, in its expanded 32-team format, truly marked a new chapter in global club football. While heralded as the golden era, it also highlighted the tension between commercial ambition and player welfare. Chelsea's triumph over heavy favorites PSG was a testament to tactical brilliance, individual standout performances, and a remarkable ability to overcome adversity. Their journey, marked by an early group stage loss, showcased a team that learned and adapted, culminating in a dominant final performance. The tournament highlighted emerging talents like Cole Palmer, Robert Sanchez, Gonzalo Garcia, and Desire Doué, signaling a shift in the global footballing landscape. However, the celebrations themselves, particularly Chelsea's decision to forego a parade due to player fatigue, underscored the demanding nature of the modern football calendar. The 2025 Club World Cup was a spectacular event, offering thrilling football and a clear indication of the evolving dynamics of club competition on the global stage. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for joining us as we revisited this unforgettable 2025 Club World Cup, filled with drama, brilliance, and iconic moments. What were your favorite moments from the tournament? Was it Cole Palmer's final masterclass, Gonzalo Garcia's Golden Boot run, or PSG's impressive 436-minute streak without conceding? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another in-depth football recap. Until next time, keep loving the beautiful game.